Transforming your life through hypnotherapy has never been easier. With the help of your host, Julie from CoachingHypnosis.net, and these power-packed minisodes, you're sure to find yourself engaging in more positive behaviors around both your physical and mental health. Here's your host, Julie.
G'day, it's Julie from CoachingHypnosis.net, and you deserve to know the one massive motivation hypnosis increase for 2022, because people are sick of living out their full human potential and having to psych themselves up at the same time. I'm not a therapist or psychotherapist, but this is my 9th year as a clinical hypnotherapist in strategic psychotherapy. I help my clients online. They change their life without changing out of their pajamas. But if someone's going down the wrong road, you and I both know they don't need motivation to speed them up. What they need is education to turn them round. And motivation can be an extremely challenging beast. And we all experience motivation from time to time, like on a long road trip when you're busting to use the bathroom. That's still motivation. And it reminds me of Richard Bandler's client who needed everything to be kept clean in her home. She didn't feel bad on vacations or in a restaurant. She only felt bad within certain limits. She may not have considered the garage or backyard her territory, just like I'm confident you know someone that keeps their house spotless, but they don't consider their children's rooms to be part of the house, so they don't feel bad when they are dirty. And all of these people use negative motivation strategies. They walk into the kitchen, they see dirty dishes everywhere, and they think, I've got to do the dishes in order to make the bad feeling go away. So they wash all the dishes. And how you help someone like that is to make them feel fabulous about one thing, because your hippocampus is designed to make new memories that then spur new motivation for new experiences instead of craving the familiar and routine. The brain chemistry of love is completely different from the chemistry we produce in survival mode. We have a love potion that's released in our midbrain, and it creates bonding in all mammals by falling in love, not only with love, but yourself. You're chemically bonding with a new version of yourself, so you should also fall in love with yourself. And I don't know if you've ever listened to an audio program of a motivational speaker, because a wise man once said, people often say motivation doesn't last, but neither does bathing. And that's why it's recommended daily. And it's weird how occasionally motivation can be really easy and you get swept up in the excitement, but other times it's impossible to find motivation. You're locked into a death spiral of procrastination. And as the most famous hypnotherapist Milton Erickson would say, the most important thing in changing human behavior is the person's motivation. Motivating individuals can be the determining force behind our actions. Motivation includes the desire to continue progress in the pursuit of a meaningful purpose and living. Motivation has nothing to do with achieving goals, as failures in achieving goals are often the consequence of poorly established goals. But the truth is, every individual has fluctuations in their motivations or ability to will. Sometimes your mind can feel empty or confused about what your goals are, or you may feel less motivated or have motivation for other activities. And the greatest motivational speaker of all time, Anthony Robbins, has a fabulous negative motivation technique, what he calls the Dickens pattern. For example, I once had metal toxicity poisoning. I couldn't walk or talk, and I had to walk with a walking stick. I'm fine now, but it was really painful. So at a Tony Robbins event like UPW, I think, but what if I did nothing to help people? What if in 50 years' time, every child, woman and man is retarded? They can't walk or talk or even pray. Everybody on the planet now has to do constant detox diet. They can't exercise. They can't eat junk food. They can only do things that help the body, have computers read to them or pray to them until you can sit up and read easily again. And then Tony Robbins would say something like, now make the problem even worse. So then I make it even more worse. I imagine we all have computers doing things for us. We're all like Stephen Hawking, but it's worse. We have to drink green juice, no McHappy meals every now and then, The whole world is now retarded and only drinking green juice. No television shows can make us laugh anymore because we're in so much physical pain. We can't find a single movie we like. The whole world no longer dreams, it only has nightmares. So then Tony Robbins says, make the problem even worse. So I imagine the royal family as robots, and there isn't a person on earth that can now have independent thought. We all now have metal toxicity poisoning. No one can control what they say or do. And the reason why Tony Robbins says make things worse, it's because it's like the tale of the ghost of Christmas past. When Scrooge is taken to the ghost of Christmas past, it helps Scrooge begin his process of change. By showing him memories of the past, the ghost reminds him of the goodness that used to be in him and the people he used to love. The ghost of Christmas present shows Scrooge the joys and hardships of others, but also their delight in loving each other and in their family ties. The ghost of Christmas future takes Scrooge into a series of strange places like the London Stock Exchange, where a group of businessmen discuss the death of a rich man, a dingy pawn shop in a London slum, where a group of vagabonds and shady characters sell some personal effects stolen from a dead man, and the dinner table of a poor family. But the good news is he realizes the future hasn't happened yet, and he decides to change. So here is the one massive motivational hypnosis increase for 2022. It's the ultimate hypnosis script for change and motivation by Calvin Banyan. Today you're standing in a fork in the road in your life. You've come to a decision point. Should you continue to do what you've been doing in regard to motivation? You think about all the problems and concerns that no motivation brings into your life. The road on the left is a downward road. It's easy to take the low road. You can just coast down it. It's a path of doing of what you've always been doing for so long, but it's a path of misery. The road on the right goes upwards. It will take some effort to take the high road, but it's a way of freedom, health, and life. It is a road of being in control and for your life. It is a high road to success. Look at the road on the left. It means carrying all the problems associated with continuing to have no motivation with you even longer than you already have. Think how bad no motivation makes you feel. Really allow yourself to feel the weight of the burden of this self-destructive behavior. Feel the desire to be free from all the ill effects of hurting yourself in this way. I'm going to count from 1 to 3 and we're going to go down the low road of being out of control for 1 more year. 1, 2, 3. There you are after 1 more year being out of control, being miserable because you've continued to have no motivation. You feel the weight of disappointment in yourself. You notice things like this is a very painful way of living. There's a mirror there and you see yourself and you ask yourself, am I pleased with myself? Am I happy to have another year of no motivation? Do I feel better having made this decision? Do I feel healthier or worse? Do I look or feel better about myself or not? Do I feel smarter? Feel the disappointment you have in yourself for continuing to have no motivation for another year. I'm going to count from 1 to 3 and we're going to the 5-year point down this road of no motivation. Take it to the year 2030. 1, 2, 3. Here you are, having years of being on the low road. Bring forth all the effects of that choice. Really allow yourself the effects of that decision. You feel no motivation. You feel hopeless. Look around. You see all of those things that have done this to you. You can't stand it anymore. Maybe you hate the sight of them. If there are people associated with you doing no motivation, are they really your friends? Do they care about you? Again, ask yourself, I'm pleased with myself for no motivation. For 5 more years, do I have the right to do this to myself? Am I healthier for making this decision? How it is affecting my life? Is it better or worse? Do I feel smarter for no motivation for an additional 5 years? Now I count from 1 to 3 and we move to the 10-year point on the low road. Continue beyond to the year 2040. 1, 2, 3. Here you are. Over 10 more years of hurting yourself. No motivation. Once again, bring forth all the cumulative effects of that choice. Really allow yourself to feel the effects of that decision of continuing no motivation for more than 10 years. You feel no motivation, feel more hopeless again. You look around and you see all of those things that have done this to you. So you can't stand them anymore. Maybe you hate the sight of them. If there are people associated with doing this no motivation, are they really your friends? Do they really care about you? How do you feel about them? There is a mirror. Look at yourself and ask yourself, am I pleased with myself for no motivation for 10 years? Is my life better or worse? Do I feel intelligent for no motivation? really feel the consequences of remaining on this low but easy road. And as I count back from 5 to 1, come all the way back to the beginning of the fork in the road. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now you feel better because none of that has to happen. And it doesn't have to. You've decided to not let that happen to you. You've decided to take the high road of success on the right. You know that it will be a little more effort, but now you know in your heart and mind that it's worth it. You've decided to start taking better care of yourself. In fact, you've already left the old way. By coming here today, you're already taking your first steps towards freedom and success on the road on the right. Let's see how this new decision of motivation affects you. You think about all the good, positive changes that becoming free from the self-destructive habit has brought into your life. Being free from all those problems, the feeling of really being in control and confident. You are now on the path on your right. It means success and a feeling of energy and optimism. I'm going to count from 1 to 3 and we're going to go down the road. Having made this change for 1 year, 1, 2, 3. There you are. After 1 year of being in control, you feel good and great. You've done it. You are a success. You have never felt better and you're going to feel even better yet. There is a mirror there. You see yourself and you ask yourself, am I pleased with myself? Am I happy to have accomplished my goal for a whole year? Do I feel better having made this healthy decision? Do I feel smarter? Feel the pride and health that's inside you? Was it worth it? You want to continue to stay on the high road of success. I'm going to count from 1 to 3. You're going to go down the year, 5-year point on this road of being successful, making the change to the year 2030, 1, 2, 3. And here you are, more than 5 years of success, reaping the rewards, making permanent change of motivation. Years and years of being in control and energized. Bring forth right now the effects of that choice. Really allow yourself to feel the effects of that decision. You feel strong. Everything in your life is better for having made this permanent change. Enjoy the feeling of knowing that you've made a permanent change, knowing that you'll never go back to your old way. And now count from 1 to 3 and we move down to the 10-year point on this high road of success to the year 2040. 1, 2, 3, and there you are, 10 more years of making this good, positive change in your life. Bring forth all the effects of that smart choice. Really allow yourself to feel the effects of that decision of continuing to be in control of 10 more years. Motivation is now simply that you're used to. It was a mistake to have never have done it, but now you're free and will remain free for the rest of your life. You look in the mirror one more time and ask yourself, am I pleased with myself for motivation for over 10 more years? Would I ever go back to that old bad habit of hurting myself with no motivation? Am I glad that I've made this permanent change, the change for good? Of course you are. And as I count backwards, you're back in the year 2023, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You know that you found a new level of certainty that you're ready, really ready to make this change. You are now ready to accept powerful hypnotic suggestions to help keep you on the road, on the right, the high road of success. Now your subconscious mind fully accepts the suggestion that you'll never have no motivation again. From now on, you will be motivated, and this keeps you on the high road of success for the rest of your life. So what if you thought about motivation hypnosis differently? And what if you didn't? The choice is yours.